If you're dealing with sciatica, you know that it's not just uncomfortable during the day. Matter of fact, getting a good night's sleep can be the biggest challenge you face. You're dealing with a burning, tingling, or just a pain zapping down your leg all night long. And then when the morning comes, you feel like you're even stiffer than you were all night long. As a chiropractor for over 20 years, performing over 100,000 adjustments, I've got the solution for you. In this video, I'm going to share with you a unique routine that you can do that'll help you get a great night's sleep. So when we talk about sciatica, we're talking about that pain that's zipping down the back of your leg, going down the side of your leg. For some people, they'll actually get nerve pain that'll actually run down the front. The issue with pain coming from your back going down your leg is no matter what you try to do, it seems like you're uncomfortable. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the different sleeping positions. Then we're going to talk about some things that you can do right before you go to bed so they can help relax your muscles and get you feeling more rested. So when we're talking sciatica, we're talking about dealing with the pain. It's going to be going from your low back all the way down your leg, or it might only go into your calf, your hip, or even just mid-thigh. So when it comes to sleep, what we have to do is sleep in a position that's actually going to not only be comfortable for the lower lumbar spine, but it's also going to allow us to be comfortable as we try and get a rest. The first thing you want to do is, if you're normally a stomach sleeper, and I hate to say this because I know I like to sleep on my stomach sometimes too, is you don't want to sleep on your stomach if you're having sciatica. The reason is if you're sleeping on your stomach, you're actually going to be putting your body in a position like this. What happens is if you're laying on your stomach, you're causing more of that curve in your low back, and that can close down the hole where the nerve's coming out. So we want to avoid sleeping on our stomach. If you sleep on your side, then what we got to do is we want to make sure that we're putting something in between our legs. So we get either a pillow and we lay just like this and something right here. Because if you don't have this and your legs are like this, then that can cause your hips to kind of twist, therefore putting more pressure on the nerve, causing you more pain. Even more so when you move around at night. So you want to keep a pillow between your legs, and you want to make sure that the pillow is keeping your head nice and straight. This one right here obviously isn't a good example because my head comes down like this. So I would have to bunch it up right here to keep my neck straight, just like that. By keeping your neck straight and your neck rested, that allows those muscles going all the way down your back, which are your erectors. Those muscles, we wanted them to relax too and not pulling as you're laying on your side. But the best way if you're dealing with sciatica to sleep is going to be sleeping on your back. And how you want to do that is you want to make sure that your head is level, okay? And so you're keeping your spine straight, and you want to make sure that you have something underneath your lower knees. What I mean by this is you want to keep something right about here as you're on your back. Keep your back flat like this, keeping your hands wherever you want to put them, but something between your knees actually takes the tension out of your hamstrings, and that allows your low back to relax that much easier. The other thing is too, is if my legs are up like this, it opens up the space between my back, and something that you can do to kind of add a little bit more support to your low back is get a pillow that's kind of like this right here. You see it's kind of a half circle shape, and you put that underneath your back. So you're here, you put this right here, and you sleep like this. This takes a lot of the pressure off your spine. However, if your sciatica is really bad and just putting this pillow here puts pressure on that nerve more, take it out. There is an issue if you happen to have a very soft bed and you're sleeping with sciatica and you're trying to lay on your back, you might need to put something between you and the springboard or the box spring from wherever you're from, and to actually give you a little bit more support. Another thing that you can do is you can actually lay on the ground, and that will actually be firm and it allows you to have a little bit better rest. You just want to make sure you keep something underneath your knees and make sure that your head's well rested. You want to make sure your neck's not like this. You want to keep it straight. But sometimes for some people, sleeping on the ground because it's really firm allows people to get that much better rest. Now, the second issue that we're dealing with is it's not a problem that the sciatic nerve is actually being pinched by a bone, but a lot of times it's inflammation. And we get inflammation from having too much stress. We get inflammation from having, the wrong types of foods, processed foods. We also get inflammation when we're drinking at night any type of alcohol. That'll raise your inflammation levels. So you want to keep the inflammation levels down. Now, the reason we want to keep our inflammation levels down is because as we sleep, our body actually takes fluid from our large intestine and redistributes it throughout the rest of the body. The problem is now that we have more fluid, we can also have more inflammation. And now that we have more inflammation, that means the nerve's going to be compressed more. This is why when you go to bed at night and you wake up in the morning super stiff, but then you start to walk around, it eases up. Your body is rehydrated from the large intestine, and now you've got more inflammation. That inflammation is compressing the nerve, causing the muscles to spasm. As you start to move, those muscles pump your lymphatic system, and that actually takes inflammation away from the nerve, easing that pressure on the nerve. Therefore, you feel looser as you go. So we want to try and reduce inflammation as much as we can. Now, if you're dealing with sciatica, this is our 3-step routine that you want to do and try and get yourself ready for bed. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to want to get rid of the inflammation in your low back by either taking a cold shower, okay, or you can actually use some ice for about 15 minutes, putting that ice in a plastic bag, wrapping it with a damp towel, setting it right through here. You're going to do that then because that cold and reducing that inflammation will cause everything to constrict a little bit. But when we do our next part, which is we're going to be taking an Epsom salt bath. Now, our Epsom salt bath is going to be a certain recipe. It's going to be 3 cups of Epsom salts, 1 cup of baking soda, and 1 cup of table salt. This all mixed together kind of mimics the ocean. And the ocean is a natural anti-inflammatory. What this does is it pulls the inflammation out of your body, but it also, magnesium is easily absorbed through your skin. So that magnesium then helps to relax the muscles so that you're getting more relaxed. So when you go to bed, you feel more relaxed throughout your muscles, you're less tight, easier to go to sleep. Now, when you're doing this bath, you want to sit in this bath for about 20 minutes, okay? And then after that, you're going to go ahead and get out. If you start to feel dizzy at all while you're in the bath, you want to get out. The other thing is, this is a detoxifying bath, so you might have to go to the bathroom after you get out of the bathtub, so I'd stay a little bit close. I wouldn't plan on doing anything too much for the next 5-10 minutes. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do 2 stretches that are really easy to help take pressure off the muscles, so those muscles relax, which then takes pressure off our spine. The first one is going to be a hamstring stretch where you're just kind of sitting. You're going to stick your foot out. So you're going to take your foot out like this. You're going to keep your back straight and just bend at the waist. You'll notice you won't have to go very far to get a really good stretch out of your hamstring this way. The reason is when we stretch and we let our back collapse, we end up stretching our back. So to stretch the hamstring like this, you're keeping your foot straight up. You're keeping your back straight, your head up, your chest up, and you bend from the waist and go in like this here, and that's going to stretch that hamstring real well. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to be stretching our piriformis. To do this, you can actually be laying in bed, and what you'll do is you'll take your foot just like this, right here in a figure 4 position, and you'll grab this leg, and that will stretch this piriformis. So what you do, you bring this knee up, this leg over, grab behind this leg, and pull it to you, okay? Now, you might not find that you can't actually get behind the leg with your hands. So what I would suggest is taking a belt, or like if you have a rope, taking the belt from that and using that behind your leg and pulling that to you. You're gonna hold each of these stretches for about a 10 count, and you're gonna do them 10 to each leg. But you wanna make sure you completely go down and relax between each stretch, because you don't wanna do more than 10, because that's only gonna make things, if you keep stretching further and further, sometimes you can overstretch and that'll make it worse. But doing this right before you go to bed helps to relax the muscles, takes pressure off your back. If you can't handle the piriformis stretch like that on your back, then I suggest sitting on the side of the bed, coming here and holding your back straight, and then basically turning towards your foot and going just like that. That will help to stretch the piriformis, which is one of the muscles in your butt cheek that actually the sciatic nerve goes through. Now, one of the things you want to make sure that you're doing is, if you've gotten a good night's rest, you want to make sure that you're getting up properly. If you're laying on your side like this, or you're laying on your back, you want to go to your side before you get out of bed. You want to let your feet kind of come down like a pendulum, push up with your hands and your elbow, and that keeps your spine straighter than trying to just come up. Because if we come up like this, where we go like that, well, the problem is that puts a ton of pressure on our low back. And if you have a hot disc, that's going to hurt really bad, and you're not getting out of bed. Make sure you turn to your side, let your feet swing down, push up, keeping your spine as straight as possible. So to recap for our actual routine at night, we're going to want to do ice or a cold shower to help control that inflammation. Then we're going to do a Epsom salt bath with that recipe that we gave you. Finally, we're going to stretch our hamstrings and our piriformis, doing 10 reps, holding each one for a 10 count. And we're going to do that just one time. That'll help your body to relax, help get you ready so you can get a great night's sleep. Now you have a routine to help you get some sleep. And I really hope you do, because I know sciatica is a really tough thing. It's one of the worst things to have to deal with, especially when you're just trying to get some rest. I'm Dr. Erik, AKA the Kentucky Chiro. And if you want to check out any more stretches, click on the box below. Otherwise, I'll talk to you soon.